Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our first NBC weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with 31 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. NBA draft, Hornets pick 6th if they keep the pick. Of course, we'll have full analysis after the draft takes place Thursday night here at SportsNola.com. And, Lenny, this could go anywhere. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's as many as 10, 12 players that you think could be available, and you have to be prepared because it's been very, very static at the top in terms of what people are projecting those top 2 or 3 teams to do.
It's crazy. I mean, you just don't know. You don't know if trades could happen. You don't know where some of those needs are. And really, beyond maybe 1 or 2 guys, any number of guys could fall to the Pelicans at 6, and you just don't know. And you have to be, you have your board, and you don't just assume the 5 particular guys are gone, because it's certainly not the case. It's amazing. The number of mock drafts you see out there are about as many options as you see for the Pelicans to make a pick at 6.
Yeah, where do you go? I mean, Burke, Len has been mentioned, McLemore has been mentioned, Noel's been mentioned of falling that far, Porter, Bennett, we could go on and on. I mean, the bottom line is you just don't know.
You really don't. You really don't. You just got to wait and see and let the thing play out. And, the Hornets, I mean, obviously, keep calling the Hornets. We're going to do this between now and November. All right, the Pelicans are, not necessarily in a situation where, other than maybe at power forward, they're excluding anybody off of their board based on, okay, we don't need that. When you're in a situation there and you've got to take the best player available, and it's obviously they've had a chance to work some guys out, interview some guys, bring some guys in for interviews, go meet people for interviews, evaluate and rank these guys and see where you're going to be situated come number 6 at some point Thursday night.
Of course, the Saints announcing their training camp schedule. That's about a month away, but people can't get enough, and they're looking forward to that. On the recruiting trail, Tulane gets a commitment for 2015, and Kendall Bussey Jr., a very familiar name, very talented athlete. It's an early commitment, speaks volumes for Curtis Johnson. I guess the problem is you got 2 years to try to hold on to him.
Exactly. It's not even, we see this a lot now. I mean, we're seeing, 8th and 9th graders get offers and stuff, so certainly juniors, there are sophomores out there that are, that make commitments in sports, but it's it's certainly a good news day for Curtis Johnson. LSU picking up a big commitment earlier in the week with the defensive end out of Oklahoma City Douglas, who's familiar to these parts, having played basketball in New Orleans the last couple of years in the All-State Sugar Bowl National Prep Classic, so certainly knows what he's getting in Louisiana. But that's a strong get as well for Les Miles. So a good week thus far on the recruiting trail.
Certainly has been. The Zephyrs in Round Rock, a road trip that continues through the weekend. And, again, they're close enough. They haven't really gotten over the hump, but that 500 hump's been there all year. They've been in 3rd or 4th in their division all year, but they're in touch.
Yeah, exactly. It just takes one win streak, and you're right in it. And you never know. You just put it all together. Speaking of baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates are tied for the best record in all of Major League Baseball right now. Hope for everyone.
Yeah, I'll be in Pittsburgh watching the Pirates at PNC Park Friday night, so see if I bring them luck or not. They are really playing well. New Orleans Voodoo, because of the fact that they're in Pittsburgh, that's why I'll see the baseball game when they play the Pittsburgh Power on Saturday night and face a team that they'll hardly recognize from the first time they saw them, when Jordan Jefferson was their quarterback, P.J. Berry was their star receiver, both on injured reserve, both not with them, so it's a different team. Former Voodoo coach Derek Stingley coaches that team. Voodoo playing much better, but they just haven't been able to finish games.
That's what you got to do. Yeah, it's when you a lot of times you're going to be in these close games. That's the way the nature of arena football. It's like tennis. You got to hold serve, and when you get the opportunity to hold serve, you got to hold it. And certainly late in games when you've got the opportunity to finish, you've got to do that.
Check out our high school football previews. We'll have a new one up every day on the site. And Natchitoches Central most recently. You can check out Hahnville today, Northeast earlier in the week, and on and on and on. And we'll continue to have those for you from every sector of the state where you get the top prep coverage you can imagine at SportsNola.com. Should do it. Have a great weekend, Lenny.
One other thing we should mention, big weekend. You mentioned Natchitoches Central up in Natchitoches, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. This weekend I'll have the chance to be up there, and we'll have coverage of everything that goes on there. Shaquille O'Neal headlining that class. The other star of the class, as you will, is the unveiling of the new museum.
which will be fantastic. Good luck to Lisa Babin and everybody associated with the new Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Lenny, as always, thank you. Have a great weekend.
And safe travels.
All right, that's going to do it for our First NBC Weekend Preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank. 31 locations throughout the metropolitan area and beyond. For Lenny Vangilder, I'm Ken Trahan. Have a great weekend, and God bless.